This whole movie seems like what it's dealing with from a character psychological standpoint is temptation. What is going on there, Reject Nation? Thanks so much for clicking on this video. If you could take a battering into that like button, that'd be very much appreciated. We are going to watch ourselves, I think, 4 new TV spots for the Batman that all supposedly include new footage. I just dropped them in a Final Cut, hit export. Let's see what's in store. I really can't wait for this movie. I've been reading like so many articles on this, like from what Robert Pattinson's been talking about, what Colin Farrell's been talking about. I'm so excited for this film.
Like it or not, it's Riddler's game now.
I've always loved little puzzles.
What are we looking for? More symbols.
Jesus, his next victim is Bruce Wayne.
It can be cruel, poetic, or blind. But when it's denied, it's your violence you may find.
The answer's justice.
Nipple chills! That was a great one.
When will. Feels good, doesn't it?
Wasn't sure I'd see you again.
What, do you live in a cave?
You have no idea. That he does.
PG-13, only theaters more.
Bruce Wayne. You're really not as smart as I thought you were.
This is a powder keg.
And Riddler's the match.
Come on, vengeance. Let's get into some trouble.
God, the rage. I'd be so surprised if this movie is not good. I'd just be so surprised.
Black, blue, and dead all over.
That's the new Riddler footage there.
Batman, rated PG-13, only theaters March 4th.
Okay, I think it's 5
Cat
actually.
and the cat.
Yeah.
It's got a nice ring.
You got a lot of cats.
I have a thing about strays. Riddler's latest. It's all about the Waynes.
God damn.
You came. I've been trying to reach you.
Bruce Wayne.
Who are you under there? What are you hiding? Maybe we're not so different after all.
New friend of yours? I'm not so sure.
If we don't stand up,
Nice.
no
Good
one
kick.
will.
You guys are hell with the wedding.
Oh shit.
Don't throw your life away.
Don't worry, honey. I got 9 of them.
Yeah, you do.
Come on, vengeance. Let's get into some trouble.
The Batman.
Oh wow, there's so much to
13,
gather from
Experience
this.
Climax, only theaters March 4th.
So much to gather. God, I'm having the hardest time. I've reached a point where I'd just be shocked if this movie is less than great. I'd be shocked at that point. You know,
Yeah.
I'm setting myself up for disappointment, by
No, I do.
putting the bar that high. Like looking at what the filmmaking of this, the contrast, the colors, the focus lens, it's just so beautiful to behold. Thematically, you know, everything that they're doing here. Like I love all the new looks that we got here of Colin Farrell as Penguin, how he relishes in that criminal performance. Like he said that the makeup took like 4 hours a day to put together. Eventually they got it down to 2, and that already alone, just from the marketing, I'm like, that makeup deserves an Oscar nomination. How many of us did not realize that was Colin Farrell from the first trailer?
Most
of us
yeah.
were like, oh, that's Colin Farrell. I had no idea that was Colin Farrell. Knowing like what Robert Pattinson has talked about recently, specifically in regards to the portrayal of Bruce Wayne, of him like dealing with killing, of how there's a part of him that really does want to actually kill, but there's a part of him that probably does get some type of pleasure in this. Like everything we're seeing here with exploring that darker side. And I think with what they're doing with Catwoman is brilliant, because it seems like, especially from the marketing here and when you look at these clips put together, they have an enemy here who is the Riddler, who they have to take down, who is terrorizing the city. Looks like everything, the anarchy he can provide is just so diabolical and massive. I'm sure Bruce is just tempted to kill this guy, but also wants to learn the secrets that he knows. But then you got a character like Catwoman who is willing to be more of a criminal and willing to be a little bit more dangerous and have some fun with the darkness, where it seems like with Bruce that it's kind of an addiction for him. Like he doesn't take pride or joy or have fun with the darkness, that this is a torture for him that he has to let out. Whereas he's got someone like Catwoman who's like, come on, man, your vengeance. Let's go have some fun. You know? This whole movie seems like what it's dealing with from a character psychological standpoint is temptation. That's the main thing that I'm getting from like watching these TV spots just slapped together.
And I feel like that temptation could be very well embodied in Catwoman. Like, yeah, somebody who I get the sense from all of these images and all these clips that we've seen is going to rub off on and influence Bruce's journey here. And I love that, yeah, like you have that teetering balance of it seems like this is really testing the side of Bruce that does have that murderer in him and that vengeance inside of him. And I think that this, you know, really zeroes in on the tangibility of that, you know, battle for the soul. Like, as much as there's always like a battle for the soul of Gotham, Bruce Wayne is always super tied up into that. This feels like the most personal unraveling that for Bruce as an overall character, and watching the tension even just from these like I'm like you, I'm like, I can't imagine a scenario in which this movie isn't super gripping and compelling, because every little bit of footage just engrosses you and pulls you in and makes you want to dissect it that much further. And seeing these new clips and images of the Riddler got me that much more excited, because I love that they've been doing all these ciphers and things. Like every trailer, every poster has a new thing you can crack and decode. I love the presence that they've drawn out, and we've heard some of the Justice Riddle already, but just his presence and the sinister quality that he has. There's something about the Riddler that I feel like will really perfectly both push Batman towards that murderousness, and even, you know, you can tell, yeah, he probably would want to like murder the Riddler for all the, you know, personal attacks that he's taking on him, but at the same time, even in these little glimpses, sells that like, maybe I should listen to what this guy has to say and unravel what the truth is. It feels just so scopic and huge. That's the essence of a Batman movie.
What I'm trying to really gather from all this, though, is the connectivity with Penguin, and we know Carmine Falcone's supposed to be in this, played by John Turturro. Knowing that it's like the trailers do such a good job on gripping you on the central parts of Bruce Wayne, Batman, secrets of the Wayne family, seeing the darkness behind there, Riddler and Catwoman. Yet I'm still having a hard time seeing like what is the why behind the importance of featuring Penguin in this movie specifically. One thing I've been thinking about is like, some people are like, are they showing us too much? I'm like, this movie's almost 3 hours long, and I still feel like I got so many questions about how all this is gonna play out. There's so many details I just don't know. Once again, I got a shot at Michael Giacchino's score here, because every time I hear like just a little bit of a new rendition or whatever, it omits that like horror, unnerving vibe throughout. It just like crawls under your skin, knowing that he's putting out there publicly that even Gordon is putting the pieces together too, that he's going after Bruce Wayne. This really feels like an identity crisis movie, and I'm loving it. I'm like, every time I see more, I'm just like, I don't know a way this movie will not be amazing. It's so hard for me to imagine it to not be amazing, and I know as an audience member you don't want to get to that point with a film, but god damn it, I'm like way over the line on that already, and that's where I'm at. Just gotta be honest. But guys, what do you think about these spots? Leave all your emotions down below. Subscribe, click that bell, hit that like button. We will catch you all soon.